All right, this one has 3 parts to it. The cost of renting a car is $43 a week, plus 25 cents for every mile that you travel. So an equation to represent your cost would be y equals 43 plus 0.25x, where x is the number of miles traveled. When I do word problems, I try to use letters. I would use C instead of y for cost, and M for number of miles instead of X, but you know, that's just me. So anyway, part A says, what is your cost if you travel 59 miles? Well, 59 miles, it said X is the number of miles. So all I'm going to have to do is take this 59 miles and plug it into the equation where the X is. It's a plug and chug. Plug it in, do some math. So y is going to equal 43 plus 0.25 times, and they went 59 miles. And I'm just going to grab my scientific calculator, which is programmed to do order of operations, and just type 43 plus 0.25 times 59. And I get 57.75. And Mobius already has the dollar sign, so you just type the number in there. That's part A. Now, part B says if your cost was $63.25, how many miles did you go? So it says cost was $63.25, and it says an equation to represent cost would be y equals, y would be your cost. So you're going to stick this $63.25 where the y is. So now I'm going to have 63.25 equals 43 plus 0.25x. Now I plugged in the number, but I have to actually solve the equation, get x by itself. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract the 43 from both sides. It'll cancel out on the right. So on the right side of the equal sign, you'll just be left with a 0.25x. And then 63.25 minus 43, technically 0.00, would be $20.25. And now I'm going to take the 0.25x and I'm going to divide by 0.25. But what you do to one side of an equation, you're going to have to do to the other. So I'll have to divide the other side by 0.25. Cancels out on the right. There's my x, which represents the number of miles. And now I'll grab my handy dandy calculator. 20.25 divided by 0.25 goes 81 times exactly. So the number of miles is 81. You just type in the number. Mobius already has miles. And then that brings me to the last question. Suppose you have a maximum of $100 to spend. What would be the maximum number of miles you could drive? Again, they're looking for miles, okay? But they're saying you have a maximum of $100. So this part C will be done exactly like part B. So I'm going to show you Lazy Teacher 101 right here. Actually, I don't think this is lazy. I think this is ingenious. Instead of the $63.25, I'm going to put the $100 right here. Which means that 100 minus 43 would make this a 57. And so I'd have 57 here. I'm still going to divide by 0.25. And that's going to be a different answer. So 57 divided by 0.25 is exactly 228. Now, if that had been 228 point and then something higher, they're asking for the maximum number of miles. So they probably want to the nearest mile, but you can't go over miles. So if that were 22.9, sorry, if that were 228.9, I'd still say 228 miles if they did not ask me to round. But this one came out perfect. So I'm going to go back to Mobius and just, double check, make sure I got everything right. Whoops, I had switched my question. This was number, oh crapola, 18 was it? Yes, there it is. Okay, so my first answer was 57.75. My next answer was 81, and my last was 228. Do I get all greens on this? Yeah, green, green, green. All right, so that's how you do that problem.